Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to pull apart these incredible ancient texts and see how they connect really directly to the way we live our lives today.
And today, we are opening up the Srimad Bhagavatam for a story that is just. It's part cosmic drama, part profound philosophical lesson.
We're looking at this huge, ego-driven conflict between two major figures, Daksha and his son-in-law, Lord Shiva.
Right. And this is not just some ancient myth. The sources present this as a kind of roadmap, a roadmap of spiritual traps that are, they are everywhere in our modern world.
We're going to unpack 4 specific curses that came out of this feud, and they perfectly predict these modern pitfalls, chasing status, intellectual pride.
And that big one, using all our incredible talent and learning just for, fleeting comfort.
Exactly. And it all leads to this one core lesson: why the wisest person in a room full of powerful, angry people just chose to be silent.
Yeah, why true wisdom is sometimes about knowing when to just walk away.
Okay, so let's set the scene. You have this massive, incredibly important sacrificial assembly. Everyone who's anyone is there.
Everyone. All the leaders of creation, the great sages, the universal administrators. It's a huge event. The stakes are, cosmic.
And into this assembly comes Daksha. The text describes him as having this intense bodily luster. He's shining, he's important, and he knows it.
He does. And because of his position, his seniority, everyone stands up. It's a sign of respect.
Almost everyone.
Almost everyone. 2 figures remain seated. Lord Brahma, who is actually Daksha's father, and Lord Shiva, who is his son-in-law.
And this is the trigger. This is where it all explodes.
It is. Because Daksha was already, let's say, bothered by Shiva's whole lifestyle. He sees Shiva staying seated and takes it as a deliberate, calculated insult. Not as detachment, but as disrespect.
And his whole judgment is based on what he can see, right? The purely visible world.
Purely. He just sees the surface. He sees Shiva living in crematoriums covered in ash, hanging out with what Daksha calls ghosts and demons.
Okay, but I have to ask, why was Shiva living like that? Wasn't he kind of asking for it? It's a provocative look.
That is the perfect question. And it's the exact point Daksha misses. He sees the strange, the appearance, but he has zero grasp of the pure why.
Which is?
Which is Shiva's total, absolute detachment from material things, his deep compassion for all beings, especially the ones society throws away. That's why he's with the ghosts and demons. He accepts everyone.
So Daksha, completely lost in his own ego, just launches into this tirade. He's calling him shameless, unclean.
He even compares his eyes to a monkey's. It's just petty. His pride is so inflated, he reduces the spiritual master of the universe to this embarrassing relative he thinks he's better than.
All because he doesn't conform. And so he delivers the verdict right there in public.
He does. He curses Lord Shiva to be deprived of his share of the sacrificial oblations. He's basically trying to kick him out of the club.
Public humiliation, a total demotion. But wait, you said earlier that the sources hint this was actually a kind of blessing. How is that a win?
This is where it gets so philosophically interesting. Because the text describes Shiva as the supreme Vaishnava, the greatest devotee of the supreme person.
Okay.
So when Daksha kicks him out of the group receiving offerings, he's actually, in a way, saving him. He's preventing Shiva from having to accept offerings alongside demigods who are fundamentally materialistic.
So it's like being uninvited from a really shallow corporate party you didn't want to go to anyway.
Exactly. It accidentally reinforces Shiva's purity, his unique, detached position. It preserves it.
So Shiva himself is completely calm through all this, but someone in his crew is not.
Not at all. His chief follower, Nandishvara, has been watching this whole thing, and the sources say his eyes turned red. He's just simmering with this protective rage.
And he's not just mad at Daksha.
No, and this is crucial. He turns on the whole group of brahmanas and sages, the spiritual and intellectual elite who just sat there, the silent bystanders. He curses them for doing nothing while this great soul was being torn down.
So this isn't just simple revenge. This is where the whole thing becomes a philosophical takedown.
A systematic one. Nandishvara's curses are these 4 warnings against materialism that are, they're shockingly relevant today.
Let's get into them. Warning 1.
Warning 1 goes right to the heart of the problem: bodily consciousness. He curses Daksha's supporters, the ones who are nodding along with him, to be bereft of transcendental knowledge.
The logic being, if your entire world is your body, your status, your money, all temporary stuff, you leave no room to understand the eternal soul.
It's a self-imposed blindness. If your whole vision is just this physical package, you literally can't see anything beyond it, you're cut off.
Okay, so warning two, this one is about fleeting pleasures,
Ugh.
the curse of the flowery language.
Yes. This is aimed at people whose intelligence is sort of dulled by these big promises of short-term gain. What the texts call grāmya-sukha.
Which means what exactly?
It's like village pleasure, mundane happiness, those immediate feel-good hits. And the metaphor is just beautiful. It says, the promises of, say, heavenly luxury are like the aroma of a flower.
Sweet, attractive, but it's gone in a second.
Exactly. It's instantly gratifying, but not eternal and quickly finished. The trap is you spend your whole life chasing that scent, stuck in this cycle of fruitive action, the karma coup.
So you're constantly working for the next temporary reward, and you never get around to any real lasting transformation.
It just dulls your intelligence. And that leads right into warning 3, which is, for me, maybe the most chilling one for our current moment.
This one targeted the scholars, the brahmanas.
Yes, he cursed that their education, their discipline, their vows, all of it would be used only for maintaining the body.
In other words, using all your intellectual power not to find truth, but just to get a better job, more prestige, a higher salary.
And the source material explicitly says this curse is completely functioning in the age of Kali, our age. It's a prediction that high learning would get divorced from spiritual realization and just become a tool for comfort.
But hold on, don't you have to maintain the body? I mean, we need to make a living. Where's the line between providing for yourself and, spiritually selling out?
That is the critical distinction. It's not about providing for the body. It's when maintaining the body becomes the ultimate goal. It's like having this incredible supercomputer, your mind, but you only use it to play simple video games.
Wow.
You have this capacity for liberation, but you dedicate all that brain power to perfecting your diet or climbing the corporate ladder. The tragedy is the wasted potential.
That's a really powerful analogy. It makes you stop and think.
And then finally, Nandishvar gives a very specific curse to Daksha himself. He says he will soon have the face of a goat.
A goat? Why a goat?
It was a direct symbol. It condemned his obsession with physical pleasure, with sex life. It was saying he was prioritizing his animal instincts over any higher spiritual purpose.
So Nandishvara lays down the law, but the conflict doesn't just stop there, does it? The toxicity keeps spiraling.
Oh, it spirals immediately. The cursed brahmanas, their pride wounded, they fight back. A sage named Bhugumuni delivers a powerful countercurse, the Brahma-shapen,
Aimed at whom?
at Lord Shiva's followers. He predicts they'll become atheists, that they'll indulge in things against scripture like wine, flesh, and other such things.
So it's prediction of hypocrisy, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That people would copy Shiva's external look, the long hair, the unconventional style, but have none of the internal purity.
All style, no substance.
Right. Adopting the look of detachment, but filling that internal void with just more materialism and indulgence. The whole assembly had just become this vortex of anger and ego.
So you have all this rage, all this cursing and countercursing. Even these great personalities are getting dragged down into the mud. What about Shiva, the one at the center of it all?
And here it is, the real lesson. The text says, Lord Shiva, the most spiritually advanced person there, remained completely calm and tolerant through the entire thing.
He didn't fight back. He didn't argue.
He didn't participate at all. He just refused to engage in the cycle.
Oh.
His choice was the ultimate act of wisdom.
What did he do?
He quietly left the assembly. He just got up and walked out.
Because he recognized the whole fight was pointless. Just a petty argument about status.
He knew true freedom wasn't about winning the argument. It was about detaching from it.
So bringing this all together, what does this mean for you listening right now? The real tragedy here is that all the fighting, it made everyone forget why they were there in the first place.
The goal got completely lost.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to be seeking transcendental knowledge, and instead they got bogged down in a quarrel over who was better.
It really forces you to do an intention check, to ask yourself,
Yeah.
am I using all my energy, my education, my discipline? Is it all just to perfect the temporary stuff? The career, the diet, that fleeting aroma of the flower?
Or are you aiming that incredible power towards something that lasts? Towards genuine purification, towards that eternal garden of knowledge?
Shiva's example is just so powerful. True freedom isn't about winning. It's about knowing when to just reject the drama, walk away from the envious dust, and focus on your own internal light.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's a final thought for you to take away. If you spent just one day using your mental supercomputer to understand your soul instead of just maintaining your body's status, What do you think you'd find? Now, that is a deep dive worth taking.